Hey everyone, welcome back to Bros and Shows. I am your host, Josiah, aka Mahler67. With me, as always, I got my buddy, I got my pal, I got my brother Austin. Austin, how you doing today?
Hello there. Yeah, I'm doing pretty good.
You doing pretty good? That's good to hear, man. That's good to hear. Anything crazy happened with you this week?
Not really. I've just been working most of the time. Nothing too much going on. Just dealing with a lot of family stuff and, just trying to figure out some things. And
Is it family stuff on our side or family stuff on your wife's side?
It's just both of our sides. It's back and forth.
Well, I wouldn't have to talk trash on you if you actually did stuff, No, I'm sorry to hear that, Austin. Hopefully that all gets figured out for you. Get that worked on.
Yeah,
but that's
no.
how life goes, man.
No, it's been interesting. We're just trying to get through a couple things that's been going on recently, and some things that are coming up here soon. Like we're just preparing for that, and it's been kind of hectic lately with everything going on, especially with school and then work and then all this other stuff. So it's kind of been like, I haven't really had time to really relax actually lately. I've been like everywhere, going everywhere, doing something, helping someone do something, or and my side business is really taking off right now, and I'm constantly getting phone called like, hey, come and look at this stuff, hey, come look at this stuff. I'm like, yeah, I love it, but ain't no rest for the wicked, right? So whoa.
I mean, if you're evil, yeah, sure. Yeah, no, that's good. I mean, anytime you hear about someone's like, hey, my side business is taking off, that's always good to hear, because a lot of people tend to like their side businesses more than they like their
job,
their main job. Yeah, so fine, hair all over me. That's good to hear, man. I've just been chilling, playing Final Fantasy 14 Dawn Trail, because that's the new expansion. It's not out officially. It's in the pre-registration phase, where if you pay for it, you get access to it Friday through Monday, and then the official release is on Tuesday. But let's be fair, if you're caught up in the story, you're buying it pre-registered, so you're playing it already. So
yeah,
that's whatever. It's been good. Different from the other expansions. I keep getting asked, people like, oh, do you like it? Do you like it as much as the other expansions? I'm like, they're completely different beasts, like all the other expansions had like this overarching story of these main villains that we have had expansions on expansions to like learn and find. And this new one, we're just being introduced to this whole new thing and kind of just thrown into the middle of it. And you have to kind of like sit there and acknowledge or figure out on your own, like, will this continue in? Will it all be solved by the end of this? Is this going to be an episodic thing, or is it going to be whatever? You have to take it for what it is to begin with. And I'm sure there will be a lot of people who love it instantly and a lot of people who hate it instantly. I'm only halfway through the story right now. I'm taking it at my own pace. I'm not pushing myself really hard. I'm just enjoying it. And so far, I mean, I'm liking it. I like the characters because I'm a big Cinnamon Roll fan, like Steven Universe. And the main character is very much that to me in this expansion. But yeah, like, other than that, playing that, I been trying to do things around my house for me once, got my hair cut, trimmed it myself, did my laundry. I have to go down there and actually grab the rest of it. And like little things like that, because like my leg issue has been my leg and or back. I think it's a back issue that is perforating through the leg, but my issue has been going on for almost a year now, and I have yet to have any form of relief outside of a cortisone shot, and I can't get another one of those, so I'm trying to learn to live with it. But what can you do? Yeah, that we have my vampire game, my LARP is having their feature game of the month coming up in July the 27th. We had a person from Hawaii looking to come out, and he was looking for a place that he could crash in or like split the hotel cost. And I told him that if come Monday, if he didn't hear anything from someone, I would split hotel with him there, because it's only at 119, I think, a day at the hotel that is connected to the convention center, so you can stay there. But then he messaged me today saying like, hey, something came up, I won't be able to come. It's just, you know, timing and whatnot. And I'm like, no, that's perfectly understandable, man. Hopefully I can see you at like the convention in November or something else like that. So that's been my thing. You also sprang on me. I didn't know you were going to come out to it, but you were going to come out to it.
Mm-hmm.
And now that you're going to come out to it, I may still spring for that hotel room then, because it'd be cool to just chill in the hotel, and then you can come in Friday night and we can have it Friday and Saturday and have like a mini way.
Yeah.
Well, for me it would be a staycation. For you it would be a like mini vacation.
Yeah,
like a vacation.
Yeah.
But it's at the Green Tree hotel, which is outside of the city, so you wouldn't have to travel as far. You wouldn't have to go through the horrific traffic of downtown to get to me.
Nothing.
So
it's nothing.
That may be cool. If you're up for it, I'm down for doing that. Maybe even if there's a pool there, maybe go enjoy the pool Friday night. See if I'm able to actually exist in a pool without like dying inside.
It probably might help, actually.
Maybe not.
Yeah.
I mean, if it doesn't
worse.
help, if it doesn't help, that tells me a different thing. Like it tells me more information on it. Like all those little things, you know. What can you do?
Yeah.
But yeah, no, that's been my life. I've just been enjoying doing all this stuff, trying to not use Tylenol at all, because I've been using it like consecutively for like a week or two, and I've been only using like one tablet of it a day. But I'm like, it says you're not supposed to take it longer than 10 days in a row, so I'll probably chill out on it for a bit and then maybe use it later, see if like anything changes. But
yeah,
that's just my life. What can you do? I mean, other than anything else, the most I can do is just kind of smile through the pain. Speaking of smiling, Austin, let's talk about our show today.
Yes.
Talking about a
Would
show
you like
that
to go over and smoke a bunch of weed and fill our bellies with diet soda.
Play Burnout 2.
2 for Burnout Revenge for the PS2. Fancy seeing you here.
Yeah, let's go ahead and talk about Smiling Friends, Austin, a show that you and our friend Jordan and Alex really enjoyed, watched a lot of it, and I didn't start watching it until like season 2 started coming out. Like, you forced me to watch a couple episodes at when we were watching the Book of Mormon, when we were at the Book of Mormon, and then that's whenever I just started watching a couple episodes, because I'm like, he's gonna make me watch this at some point. And they're quick episodes.
Yeah, they're like 10-minute episodes.
They're 10-minute episodes. They're not very long. They're very quick. The best way I would put it, as someone who essentially you're kind of having me watch it, it's like a fever dream. Like a lot of the episodes tend to turn into fever dreams or like crazy things happening.
Yeah.
With like simplistic plots. It's like Super Jail meets the regular show is the best way I can say it. It's like simple two friends who work for this agency go out and things get weird a lot of times.
Yeah.
But awesome. What do you think of Smiling Friends? Super Friends.
Super Friends. No, so like I actually found out about this I found out about this show when I was watching a lot of regular show, actually, and then I started watching Meat Cannon, and then Meat Cannon became popping me, and then of course I just kept watching more Meat Cannon, and I was like, oh man, I'm into the weird. And then I forget who recommended this. Oh, it was Jordan, actually. Jordan was like, well, no, it was Alex, I think. Alex was like, well, if you like that, then you'll probably like Smiling Friends. And I was like, Smiling Friends? What's that? And he's like, well, if you like Papa Meat, if you like Meat Can, you'll probably like Smiling Friends. So that's when I started watching it, and my buddy Andrew was working with me at the time at the client's house that we both worked at the same time. And I remember watching up till the Halloween episode with him, like first season, and then I had to stop, and I was like, "Hey man, I gotta take a break for a minute," because like I kind of messed with my head there for a minute. He's like, "Oh, okay, man, totally." And so, and then we ended up finishing the season, and then it just turned into like this huge like. I wasn't really impressed by it, but it kept I kept quoting it. It kept rubbing it off on me for some odd reason, like the quotes and stuff from the show. And I was like, all right, I'm gonna start keep watching the show. So then it turned into like I would watch this show constantly because they're just so quick episodes. They're like 10-minute episodes, bam. But there's like some really good episodes season 1 that I really love. And then season 2, there's some episodes I really love, and there's an episode I really can't stand. But overall, I really thoroughly enjoy this, and I think Zach, I forget how to pronounce his last name. I always get it wrong. Those guys, they do a YouTube series called like Oni Plays, and they were around for like a long time. And I had no idea what Oni Plays was until someone informed me, like, yeah, that's the same dudes that do Oni Play, and I was like, never heard of it. And most people are like, yeah, I never heard of it, but a lot of the people on the internet have, and they love this, like love these guys. So they were super excited to see the show get as big as it did, because now it's huge. Like it's all over TikTok. There's like memes about it everywhere. So I'm really glad that Zach and then like the show took off for them. I really enjoy it. I laugh. There's a lot of times where I'll go back or I'll quote the show multiple times. And now if you ever look at my Facebook page, me and my buddy Andrew like go back and forth on each other's timeline and post like memes from the show. Just like random memes. So it's it's a show that's big, its premise is simple, but then it just gets ridiculous sometimes, and then it gets a little bit too much that you don't expect.
No, so. It constantly gets ridiculous. Every episode I think ends with it being like super over the top in one way or the other. Like even the first episode where they go into the little kid or go into that grown man who has a gun to his head, and he's like, I'm going to kill myself. And he's like, oh no, we're gonna make you smile. Fine, if you're gonna make me smile, you're gonna make me smile, but if not, I'm gonna freaking kill myself make you watch. Like when you're watching it like that, you're like, oh no, that went from 0 to 100 really fast.
Real quick.
But like that's just like the first show, and then there's like the other one where they're what the heck is it called? That there's so many episodes that my brain's like, I don't want to do the episodes that have been showing on the clip of this, right? Because there's just so many. There's only like what 8 episodes each season. It's not a lot of episodes.
Yeah.
And then like you can kind of consider the 9th episode its own season, but that's kind of like
Yeah, that episode was meant to troll people, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
I hated that episode so much. But it was a troll episode. You knew it was. You're like, yep, okay, they're trolling. That's what it is. But no, there's it gets really extreme, especially like like one of my favorite episodes of season 1 is actually the one that's showing right now, and that is the murder of Simon S. Salty.
Oh yeah, with all the condiments.
Yeah, all the condiments and stuff. I just love the ending. What I love about that episode at the beginning, the grease puddle's like, I could have killed him, and he's like, no, I don't think he did. It's like, did you kill him? And he's like, no. But then when it turns out that actually he had a heart attack, I was like, well, kind of grease killed him, right, guys? Like,
not a grease puddle though.
Yeah,
I did find it funny that like they kept viewing it, and they're like, each of the people murdered him. Like, how many people murdered him? And then it's like, no, it's just, and then it's like, oh, because we all didn't murder him, we're all free to go. Yeah, and then they break the window and they run out. Like I don't think that's how that works. Riots.
They start riots. That's the end of the episode. So yeah.
No, there's always weird episodes that you really show. Like the whole mouse. What episode was it? It was whenever I forget his name. The big tall guy. It's not Alan.
Alan.
Is it Alan? That's Alan.
Yeah, Alan, the red tall guy.
Yeah. He's like trying to find his cheese. Maybe that's the first episode.
That's episode 1.
That's episode 1. Yeah, he goes into the wall, and then there's a bunch of those little like monstrous things yelling at him, and then he breaks the big wall. All over the place. Yeah, no, there's
problem. What's really funny is like the short cameos that people do in this show. So, do you remember the part where Alan does go in the wall, and then there's a guy on his computer?
Yeah, on his computer. He's like, "Whoa, man."
That is Flynn Wolfhard, the guy that is from Stranger Things.
Yeah.
That's his cameo, and then you know what's really weird is
Mike
Robert
Stolaska was the Desmond guy in the first episode.
Yep. And then Gilbert Gottfried, when this was shown on Adult Swim, like 2 days later, Gilbert Gottfried died. And he's the voice of God in the episode with Charlie. Yep. But yeah, and then season 2 they did, you know, well, also season 1, the Jeremy the Demon, the one I was like, that is James Rowland, the guy that is the angry video game nerd from YouTube.
Oh yeah, he's also shown in the episode with the demon wife too.
Yeah. So yeah, it's pretty interesting that they get like some of these YouTubers to come out and help them, but also like these random celebrities where they'll just be like, "Hey, you're gonna play this weird character real quick."
It's good though, because what's nice about the show being like popular too is that it's originated from internet celebrities. You know, like the guy who plays Pip is the voice of Mammon. In Hell of a Boss. Like that's not what he's mainly known for, but that's what I knew his voice from. When he started talking, I was like, I recognize this guy's voice, but I don't know where I know it from. And then I watched the video. I was like, did you know that this is the same voice actor? And I was like, no, I didn't, but now it makes complete sense where I knew him from. And then I never watched Oni Plays, so I didn't know anything about the other guy. But I do constantly hear on my TikTok the whole like, turn on the news, they hit the Pentagon, and that's apparently him.
Lyle, wake up!
Yeah.
Yeah, and then number 13 is like another one that was like a huge internet thing. I heard about it on Reddit, and I would constantly hear the audio where it's like, can I get a number 13? Number 13. And then they put it in the show when it was the Shrimp Peanut episode. And he's like, can I get a number 13? And now
when I hear that voice, the little shrimp dude's voice, I think of JonTron. Because JonTron had like this like his bird would do a robot voice. It's just like no, that's not it. It was, what the heck was it? It was during the bootleg games, and it was like Iago, like the parrot would come down just like, I bring you news from the after aboves, and he like talks like that, and that's what Shrimpino or whatever his name is remind me of, like that, like voice to text, horrible voice to text. And I was like, what the freak, why is this unlocking weird memories from whenever I was in like college or like almost high school too?
Tally ho.
Yeah, tally ho, I bring you news. Yeah, that's exactly it. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about.
Oh man.
But like they have that voice, the one Spamtomia or whatever it is.
Spam.
That whole like the voice of everyone there is like the voices that people use for those horror YouTube series.
Yeah.
The
creepypastas.
Not creepypastas, but like those like augmented reality ones. That's not what they're called. They're called I want to say Mandel-Rock, but that's not it. Like Mandel-Rock is the one mathematical thing. Mandela Catalog. It's like that type of stuff where they're like the others, how they speak. It's like, and so the whole time I'm watching that episode, I'm like, this episode's going to turn really crazy really fast. And sure enough, whenever he removes all the rules and everyone starts murdering and massacring, I'm like, there it goes. Yep. That's how all these episodes always go. It goes 0 to 100. The episode that's showing right now, the one with them in the fairy woods, was probably one of my favorite episodes, just because I loved how like Pip got really like Gollum, like he basically become Gollum by the end. And then they're like, yeah, no, we really liked the Hobbit dude, and it's like, he was my stalker. He gave us a bomb. It was a bomb the whole time. That made me laugh because I was such like a hard right field. That was amazing.
Oh man, yeah.
It was really well done.
Yeah.
They had like a couple other voice actors that I recognized too. Who was it? Oh, they had Master Shake in the last episode, the Christmas
Yeah.
episode. He was the snowman.
Yep, he
I
was.
recognize him. The boss freaks me out the most. I just saw him, so I was like, yeah, no, he's the most uncanny valley character of the group.
Yeah, he has some very quotable lines that I love, especially the one where it was the Frowning Friends episode. And like he comes out with like the gun and he puts it in the guy's like face and he's like, oh, and he's like, don't cry. I'm just gonna shoot you in the head and kill you. It's like, man, that's rough.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, you know what's funny?
You know,
I just
it's
saw a
man.
video. I just watched a YouTube video about Smiling Friends because it showed up, and I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna watch it." It's a film theory. I don't know if it just came out or what, but they did an episode saying that like the Smiling Friends are committing tax fraud because they're considered a charity, but they're breaking all the charity rules because the boss has like stocks in it, and they use that episode as a reference when he's like, since that new company has moved in next door, I've lost $2.4 billion. And it's like, you can't lose money on a charity, so he's doing something illegal and thus committing fraud. And I was like, man, how great is it that I'm about to do a show where we're talking about this because Austin forced me to watch this, and now it's showing up in my timeline. I love cookies in our system and caches stealing my data.
Yep. And then oh yeah, speaking of that, I have tried a century egg because of this season of season 1. Yeah, so Andrew actually got a hold of some century eggs. It was like, hey man, you want to try them?
That's the eggs where they bury them, right?
Yeah, and I'll tell you, it was not worth it at all. Like, people were like, these are awful.
No, that sounds disgusting. I have no interest whatsoever in that.
Yeah.
In fact, I'm kind of grossed out that you even brought that up. How could you subjugate me to that?
It was a century egg. No, you know, and Mr. Frog was such a big thing coming into episode. You know, the first season, Mr. Frog was really funny. That whole episode was, and that's done by I'm trying to think. Chris, if my buddy Brandon was here, he would know. His name's Chris I forget how to pronounce his last name, but he had a very funny internet video, and I used to watch him a lot. And one of his internet videos was potato salad, and it was like about his brother being like a burglar and everything like that. It was hilarious. If you ever get a chance, look up like potato salad by Chris. I forget his name, but the guy who does that video does the voice for Mr. Frog. So
you know who I thought it was?
Who?
Whenever I heard Mr. Frog initially, I thought it was so I don't remember his name because I always forget his name, but his face is very recognizable. He's in the It crowd, or the It show, the IT show, the IT crowd. The one British show that I watched, Austin, where it's
with Matt Berry.
Yeah. He's the one who hides in the server room. But he also does the voice of Jerry from Disenchantment.
Oh yeah.
Jerry Jerry. Yeah, they have the same kind of
Jerry.
cadence, like that style.
Yeah.
So I thought it was him, and I was like, oh cool, they got him. I'm pretty happy they did. And then I looked it up, and it's like, no, that's not him at all.
Nope.
He got you. He got you, bro.
No.
Yeah, it was kind of cool.
Everyone was so excited for season 2 to come out because season 2, it was highly anticipated because how well season 1 did. That season 2, a lot of people said it was like really well done. What I mean by well done is like a lot of people actually watched season 2 and really enjoyed season 2. And I know that a lot of people are bummed out because like there's only 8 episodes and then we gotta wait like a year or something like that, and they're like, oh man, this kind of stinks. But shows are changing that up a little bit now, and I don't know if Smiling Friends is going to do that because there is shows now that are like doing one season then we'll do another season like a couple months later, which is weird because the Bear's doing that. The Bear just got done with season 3, and then season 4 comes out I think in August.
Oh wow.
Yeah, that's how crazy, like, and that's not like the only show that's doing that supposedly, because I heard like a couple other shows are doing that, trying that out, just to keep things relevant. I think that's why they're doing that. But season 2 was very highly anticipated because they showed, like when the trailer came out for season 2, it showed Mr. Frog like dumping like bio waste into like a river. But that is an episode I do not like. That is the episode I do not like of Smiling Friends. And it's not just because of like the premise of it. It's more of like President Jimbles or whatever his name is.
Yeah.
How he presents himself, where he just gets messy more and more, and he gets disgusting. I can't watch that episode because of it.
I mean, it was a pretty funny moment though, whenever he goes out there and like becomes best friends with the one other ruler, and then he walks in and he's just like, bro, like I made international connections. He's like, no dude, he was a terrorist, a mass murderer. You were supposed to condemn him and his country. How could you? Yeah man, even I know that's really messed up and you can't do that. Like you can't be doing that at all. It's like, oh man, that made me laugh. Like that was a funny moment for me.
Yeah. No, it was that I just couldn't watch it anymore. No, I know. Then text it to me.
Uh-oh. Wife sneaking in.
So that was the only episode that I could not really stand anymore. I've watched that episode twice now, and I just can't get over him, how messy he is. The guy that plays him is a comedian, and he's a fun and awesome guy. He follows me on TikTok now. He's a really good dude, and he does lives every night, and he was invited back for season 3 of Smiling Friends because they announced that they're getting another season. And he was all excited. He was like, they invited me back, Zach and all them. We're like, hey, we're gonna do an episode with you again. And I was like, wow. He's like, it made my week, man. He's like, I haven't paid my bills. And like we're like, whoa. And he's like, no, I'm just kidding, guys, just telling you. But what's really interesting about they said that season 3 was gonna be, it got greenlit right after episode 6. Like they said, like HBO and Adult Swim were like, yep, we're gonna let you have a season 3 again. Which I know that those guys are doing other shows now on top of Smiling Friends. But I would have to say season 1, my favorite episode is Simon S. Salty's murder. But season 2, I think my favorite episode probably has to be the Alan episode. I really enjoy that episode a lot, where
with the landlord.
Oh yeah, dude, it's so funny. You know, I laugh. There's so many quotable lines. You know, it's constant. Like I will constantly message my buddy and be like, "Hey, would you like to hang out and fill our bellies with diet soda and play Burnout Revenge for the PS2?" You know, and it even got to a point where Andrew actually went out and bought Burnout Revenge for the PS2, and he was like, "I found a copy. You want one?" I'm like, "No, it's just
Why would
the
I
show.
want that?
What is with you guys?" The problem is there is some episodes, which I think maybe over time, if we, you know, I think the reason why Smiling Friends season 1 was so well done compared to season 2, most people don't like season 2, it's because I think in time people started liking it more season 1 wise, because you got to watch the episodes more and more. And I think season 2 will do that sooner or later.
I didn't find season 2 bad at all. Like
a lot of people loved it. I hear some people that's like, I hate this episode. I really hate it. And I was like, really? Like, I think it was that great. And then one guy was like, one of my friends was like, I didn't like it as good as season 1. And I was like, I get that, but I don't see any episode that's really a problem. And the only reason why I don't like the President Frog one in the Gimli is because of Gimli just being disgusting. Like, I just can't handle it. I'm like, nope, done. I think it's funny. Like, there is a lot of funny stuff, you know, in that episode, but I just can't, especially when Charlie jumps out of the bushes after they were like, oh, you can't tell anyone. You know? Oh man. It kind of reminds me of what was it? I'm trying to think of what show it was. Oh, it was Simpsons. It was when Homer, like, he's like, well, everyone's gonna believe me. Oh no, it was the Kang and Kudas episode of Halloween Horrors, where it was like Bill Clinton and Al Gore were it was Bill Clinton and what's his name, Bob Dole, were like, you know, they were voting for president for those two, and they end up getting kidnapped, and Kang and Kudas, the two aliens, like was like, oh well, now we will form as Bill Clinton and Bob Dole and we will take over the earth. And then Homer's like, no one's gonna remember that, I'm gonna tell everyone. He's like, no you won't. Just like drown him in a bunch of alcohol. It's like, now they won't listen to you at all because you're a drunk. So they push him off. So I was like, I laughed kind of hard, and I thought of that episode when like Charlie gets pushed out from the worms and he comes out of the bush. He's like, "Ah!" I'm like, okay, that's good. That's funny. Nice Cole's conspiracy thing. And then like some episodes, like the ending, they have like this huge punchline that like it just made me laugh. And it was the episode where they go to space and they go like on a space party or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
The ending of that episode where it's like where they come
It's like,
up
oh,
and the
it's
world's
just
like
a flat. Like, we can't tell anyone. No, we can't. It's like, this changes everything. We take this to our grave. Yeah, this is 100%.
Oh,
That
man,
was a good bit to end the episode on.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I thought that whole episode was kind of funny.
Yeah.
Just because the whole, like, oh, he's a skeptic. He doesn't believe all this stuff. They get injected into the space. They're about to be eaten. And then those aliens get abducted. And then they're in, like, some party ship was, like, funny to me. And it's like, blow up this planet, man. Yeah, blow up this planet. Kill all these people. We can't
He's
do
like,
this.
I can't believe you did that.
There's
Wow.
nothing in there, you freaking psychopaths. Like, yeah, here, man.
Yeah, no, there's some great episodes. I like season 2 a lot. I love season 1. I'm really excited that they did announce that they're getting a season 3. So, but there's not really too much to talk about with this show, just because the thing is they're only 10-minute episodes. And, there's so
Yeah,
much.
they're short.
There are only 8 episodes a season, so like it kind of
Yeah,
short stuff.
like even us doing 2 seasons in a row, like each episode's kind of self-contained. There's no real like continuity between them, except for the episode where he dies and goes to hell, and then he helps the devil, and then when he comes back he has a new reviewed thing of like helping people smile. Like, that's the only kind of canon one that has stretched to multiple episodes, it seems. But like all the rest of them are just like self-contained, almost Family Guy-esque episodic episodes. Episodic episodes. Which is fine, like it's great. But it makes for like any prolonged discussion outside of the fact we just like, it's a great show, we enjoy it, we like the characters, we all like the voice acting. We want to see more of it. That's basically where it's at. Like, that's where we're at. And I think that's basically it. I mean, I keep seeing these like the scenes that's playing, like this is just a compilation of different like funny scenes, because their trailers are only like 30-second long trailers. So I'm like, I'm not going to put on a 30-second long trailer that just loops. So I just found a compilation that someone made, and a lot of the jokes that are in here are fantastic, like one-liners, quick one things to go off. And like me and Jordan, like we work together, and Jordan's the one who tells you to watch it. And so there will be random points where like me and him will both quote the show at different times, where like I really find it hilarious. The whole like, I love helping kids. I love kids. It's like, you shouldn't be saying that, man. Like, I find that hilarious. And then
I do that.
Jordan will
all the
constantly sing the Pick Up Stick song from the Halloween one.
Like picking up sticks.
And
yeah,
we
play Magic, and constantly, like when I go to kill someone, usually like I usually kill Andrew, I'll swing and I'll be like, how do I look, yellow man?
You look like you're telling your friends not to show up to school tomorrow.
Let's go tomorrow. Stuff like that, like, and then the PS2 revenge burnout thing is like constant.
I've been seeing a lot of the TikTok where it's just like, finally, what the fuck? Like, with the whole swapping to like being sad and upset.
Get out of my head, man! Get out of my head! That guy, oh man, it was so funny that he showed up in like season 2, and then like he shows up and he's like, it's my staples, man. That's my paper clips.
Yeah, there's
a hospital, man.
Yeah, there's so many good quotable lines that I'm not even going to sit here and try to go through them all, because then we'll just be sitting here like idiots, like we always are, just doing quotes. But
that's right. I want you, Josiah.
That's
basically
it. No, awesome. I think that basically covers it for our episodes. I mean, other than like, we're just going to enter into this state of just like talking in circles about like, we like this, we like that, and That's not the point. Like we talk about it, we talked about it, we enjoy it, and it's good.
Mhm.
And do you know when the third season's coming out?
No clue. They just announced it like a couple weeks ago, like because episode 6 came out, and then that's when the first time I heard it was the guy that does play the president say it, and then I saw that was confirmed. I was like, good, you know, because also too is like, you know, one of the other shows that I'm really psyched about. That's like, you know, I found out that they were doing a season 3, and then the same day they announced that regular show is coming back. Same cast and everything, and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so happy because I loved regular shows, so super stoked about that. But
Yeah.
and especially JK, what was it, JQ Quill, I think JG Quill, yeah, that's his name. I'm really excited because I kind of felt really bummed because we both like close enough, and then like that show got canceled.
It just came out at the bad time.
yeah,
It got
yeah.
delayed due to COVID and all that stuff, and by the time it came
Yeah.
out, it was already dated. So it's like that's
Yeah.
just too bad. But I am glad
I
for
was-
regular show, and hopefully
Yeah.
like that will also revitalize his other shows as well, because they
Oh,
deserve it.
yeah.
I like those shows a lot.
Yeah.
But Austin, next week, Austin, we're going to be diving back into the world of vampires yet again
Mm-hmm.
with Interview with the Vampire season 2 that just finished not too long ago.
Yeah. Yeah, it just finished yesterday.
It
so.
just finished yesterday, so we're going to get
Yeah.
to dive back in, hang out with Louis and the gang, and see what
Mhm.
they're all up to, and figure out what changes and what's different from, I guess, the book slash. Well, no, the movie basically it was end. No, wait, no. The show did not end when the movie ended. So, yeah,
Mhm.
no, we'll get to see what happens. I'm excited for it. I really enjoyed the first season, so it'll be fun to see the next season. So that's what we'll be watching on next episode. Austin, thank you so much for joining me on this episode of Broden Show. It's a nice, sweet, but simple episode. And that's what Smiley Friends is. Sweet, short, and simple.
Mhm.
So it all works out in the end. So Austin, thank you so much for joining me on this episode. Thank you all so much for stopping in. And thank you all so much for tuning in.